Happy Lumberjack Monday. It is time to go over the weekend and see what happened in the Islanders prospect pool for April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The number of prospects in action is starting to slowly dwindle. College players aren't playing anymore. They're done. The European regular season is basically over. They're now into the playoffs. And so the number of guys left playing is shrinking steadily. But there's still a number of guys out there. So let's, like I do every Monday, take a look at just a number of stats for a number of players that we won't necessarily spend time talking about right now. There are 3 players I want to focus on specifically. So here's the list of guys and what they've done over the weekend that we're not going to focus on this week. The first guy that I want to get to is Parker Wotherspoon. He's back now, playing for the Bridgeport Islanders in 2 games on the weekend, 2 woefully awful games for the Bridgeport Islanders at large. But Parker Wotherspoon, 3 helpers, 4 shots on net, again in 2 games played. For the defense-first defenseman, it's not to say he doesn't put up offense. That is clearly not the case because he has. Over his last 10 games, he now has 8 points. But the strength of his game is his defensive play and his ability to get up on the physical side of things. That's the strength of his game. Very much a Scott Mayfield type of player, but a left shot rather than a right shot. But the points are coming for him at the AHL level. Over the weekend, again, 3 helpers in 2 games is excellent to see from what is, again, a defense-first guy. Unfortunately, the defense isn't necessarily there for him and the rest of the team. Just, again, awful weekend for the Bridgeport Islanders, losing an embarrassing game against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, and then a game they should have won against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, but they lost both of them. Either way, we're talking about Parker Wotherspoon. As it stands now, I expect that if there's any emergency that the Islanders need to fill in the blue line, that they're going to call up Parker Wotherspoon first. It's what they did a little while ago, and it's what they're going to do going forward, assuming Parker Wotherspoon is healthy. You can say Robin Salo, but outside of that one game that Robin Salo put up 3 points, he hasn't really taken that or shown that he's taken that step up necessarily at the AHL level, right? He hasn't forced them to make a call up outside of that one game. Parker Wotherspoon, on the other hand, is trending in a better direction. The ceiling is lower for Parker Wotherspoon. That I'll give you. That's a for sure. But he's playing at in such a form that if an emergency is necessary, they will call him up first. The next guy I want to get to is Mitchell Vande, who, just like Parker Wotherspoon, is an AHL defenseman. He's been there for a while as well. Over the weekend, 1 goal, 1 assist, 3 shots on net in 2 games played. Now, the thing with Mitchell Vande is that he hasn't had a really good year. Things are trending in a bad direction for him. And if you look at the NHLE week to week, like you can see it kind of like head downwards. And that's not what you want to see if you're Mitchell Vande, who's facing Group 6 UFA status, right? Like he's got a place with the Bridgeport Islanders for now, but now that he's going to become a UFA and things are trending downwards, who's going to really want him? I'm sure he'll probably find a spot somewhere in the AHL, but that's probably not going to be with the Bridgeport Islanders, where he's been for a while now. It's unfortunate, but it seems that he'll become a UFA and they'll just let him walk. The last guy here is Ruslan Iskhakov, who over the weekend, 1 goal, 4 shots on net, and averaged about 11 minutes of ice time. And I spoke to him about that, not specifically the ice time, I just spoke to him because the production is starting to get there, specifically when it gets to the goals. And asked him, like, what has changed? And he's just saying, like, well, the coach is putting me in a less of a pressure situation type of thing. And it's really just paying off for them. Their season is now over, and the production really ramped up for him, again, specifically in goals, over the last little stretch. So we'll see what happens with him once the German League season is done. I would expect the Islanders sign him just to see, like, we got to take a look. We can't just let this kid walk. This is a 2nd-round pick that we shouldn't just let, like, walk out of here. But I expect them to give him something, but we'll see about that. That is your weekend update in the Islanders prospect pool for April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button. And if you have already, thank you, thank you, thank you.